106 Recharge Show with me, your host, Faith Shorufura, and today we're at Cranbourne at the Fashion Gang studio down Shaftesbury Avenue. And today I have a co-presenter with me, a fashion fanatic, Lemuel, who's going to be questioning these guys about their fashion and everything that they do. Lemuel, welcome to our show today.
I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. So these are the guys, the Fashion Gang, and I'm going to leave it to Lemuel to ask more questions about the fashion.
Alright. Well, to start off, you guys introduce yourselves.
I go by the name Helan, the third Munerenyu, and I was born in 93. I'm 24 years old. I just turned 24. My birthday was last week. And I would like to welcome the world to Fashion Gang. And basically this is where we cook up everything. You can call it our lab because we cook up a lot of magic. Not really scientific, but when it comes to the fashion, we are fashion scientists. But basically, yeah, I was gonna keep it locked, and yeah, basically we just getting it started. Keep your seat, cause we about to take over. Guys, feel comfortable. We out here. I got Jay Styles in the building. I'm sure he's gonna finish up the rest.
Yeah. This is how it goes down. Fashion Gang. This is J Styles, Justin Kupampindi. If you want to know my government name. But then, you know, straight up, I'm Samurai Kid, also known in the dancehall section as that. I've got a lot of names, Stylist, Styles, whatever you call it, but you can go by J Styles, Fashion Gang Boss, along with Dal Taylor. And this is our bando, our trap house, where we cook up illegal fashion. Illegal fashion, it's not, you know, we break all the rules to pull up the best outfits that we can possibly. And we also make our music right here. So, you know, we're going to show you what we do and what we're about to show the world. What's going to come out, you know, in the next, I don't know, 10, 20 years. Because we're about to blow this world skyrocket up to the moon wherever we go.
Okay.
Alright, so, okay.
Yes.
Well introduced.
Yes.
How do you come up with this name? Fashion Gang.
It was, I'll say cliche, because I think it just speaks directly to everything that we do. It all starts from the fashion. And now fashion is not literally just limited to fashion itself, but it's fashion in terms of like everything, be it the music, be it the dressing, be it like lifestyle. That's the fashion we're talking about. So when we talk about Fashion Gang, we just laying out the lifestyle that we actually do have. And this is making money off clothes, making good music, and making people look better than they used to be after we dress them up. So yeah, gotta keep it locked up.
And then the gang part. It seems
So-
like it's just the two of you.
No, the thing is, Fashion Gang is larger than life. It's bigger than you think. It's like a mob of people. It's only that today you guys are here, so, you know, we had it a little bit quiet down, you know. But on a day-to-day basis, we probably have like 6, 7, 10 people around us, big chicks, guys, you know. You know. So the thing is, like, there are a lot of guys that are in this movement, producers. We've got like Knockout Studio that's also in this, and Noxoclear, the producer. We also have Usain, who's also a producer. Those are the guys that started, you know, producer for Fashion Gang, those tracks that you are going to know about. And there's also So Easy, who also was a very young, talented trap beat maker. I think probably the best in Zim right now.
Okay.
And also there's a guy called Coville James, who's in Botswana currently. Those are like the main characters that you can put the face to it. And a whole lot of people were, you know, supporting the movement. We have like Hit Squad, that's Toto and Zero Beast. Very talented musicians and beat makers and producers as well. And we have a whole lot of other people. We've got, you know,
The Miyagi Dojo.
Miyagi Dojo.
And that's, we're talking about Passion, that's Mr. Gideon Gonda's son. And he has a studio in Belgravia, so we are going to be working on a couple of projects with him, and we'll be dropping off an EP there. And then by Hit Squad, we'll be dropping off our EP again, and then we're doing quite a lot of collaborations as well, and just, you know, trying to fuse up into different genres, but still maintaining our core culture. We have a conscious mixtape. That's gonna be dropping out. That was done by me and J Styles.
Alright.
And yeah. we also do have the first mixtape that we did, and I'm sure everybody else haven't heard it yet. And this is fire. So it's called Foolish Ones Die Young Fast. If you're gonna translate that and just put that into
Now
English,
you're getting into music. We
I
want
was
you
about
on.
to say. I was about
We
to
want
say.
you on the fashion side for now.
Okay, basically with that, right, with the fashion gang, basically if you come in, right, and you wear something that we have made, basically you've bought into the fashion gang lifestyle and you are part of the gang.
Okay.
You're now gang affiliated with the only gang, or not so Illuminati.
I was about to say, is it a count?
It's not a cult as such, but then you like our lifestyle, you like the things that we make, so you particularly signing up for, you know,
Alright. Which means
copying the trend.
the only missing thing right now is an outfit.
Yes.
on the ropes, and that's it. Right there.
Then you can be part of fashion gang. Is gonna go up to an extent whereby we're gonna be making T-shirts you can buy actually with the fashion gang logo from shops and stuff like that. Probably like YMCMB and, you know, G Unit, that kind of thing. We're going for something like that as well. So basically, there's, you know, it's a nation fashion gang. You know.
So what do you design, you guys?
Okay.
What kind of way are you into? Skates, bombshells, what?
I think that's a very broad question. Very broad. Even Stuart Broad, I don't think he would even do that. But what we do basically is we've tasted everything. We've tasted everything. There is nothing that we can't say we can't make. And there is nothing
From menswear to women's wear.
From menswear, women's wear, kids wear,
Chef's wear, kitchen wear.
Okay.
Just this past Saturday, we're actually doing an order for inside the restaurant, and we managed to do the chef blouses and also the male chef kit, including aprons and stuff. So that stuff was actually showcased.
Then I was thinking that we can even make stuff for hospitals as well. There's nothing, as long as it's fabric, bring it.
That's the thing.
Bring
Because
it
the whole point about it, it's like showing people just the creativity. Not really limiting ourselves to a corner, but like, no, we only make that. Because we've realized like the world is so big. And you would always have people of different tastes being around. But the moment you put yourself in one section, you're depriving yourself of the rest of the other stuff that you might actually embark on. And we believe this whole fashion game, it's all about learning. So we are not afraid to take on whatever challenge that anybody else might want to bring out to us, because it's also a growing phase. We're people who always like to learn.
You're not restricted to a certain...
So also we have also Spanner Dilatator that does, you know, very formal, you know, very business type of thing. You know, it's the house. It's like Versace.
Okay.
That's our Versace. Fashion gang is the funky side of the image. Then Spanner Dilatator is like, you know, the vanguard of, you know, everything comes to play when we talk about that quality. Everything suits in, you know, ball dresses, whatever you want, night dresses. That section caters for that.
Alright. So you guys, as fashion designers,
Yes.
what's your take on this, on critics that we keep hearing about Zimbabwean fashion designers not doing a good job to represent us and our culture?
Zimbabwe at large.
Yeah, yes.
No, my take on that will be like, I think the thing is it's not like we're not doing a good job on it, but the thing is that we're not getting enough platforms and enough support whereby we, you know, get to places where we showcase and we'll be able to put, you know, those ideas coming from the public, if it is, you know, put them in our system and try to work out something that may be acceptable. Because right now, if you look at everything in Zimbabwe right now, especially this arts industry and, you know, fashion and music, the like,
Yes.
you're having to, you know, do everything by your own self. If you've got your idea, it's yours. If you try to find funding or anything like that to actually do that, you don't get that support. If I post a picture, right, in a group, let's say a WhatsApp group, right, and it has some strange fashion they have never seen before,
Yes, yes.
the probable response that I'll get from Zimbabweans, if he's maybe sane enough, they'll say, that's nice. Most of them was like, what's that? And they start laughing
Yes, definitely.
because they don't know. Zimbabweans, they have a crab mentality that they need to, crab in a bucket mentality that they need to get out of them. You know, that whereby they want to pull down the next person instead of, you know, like joining and combining the skills that we have and, you know, actually revitalize the economy by, you know, working our trades, putting them to work and, you know, accepting this is what this person does, this is what this person does, you know, and actually elevating ourselves, you know, to other markets like internationally, you know, so that they could actually see what we are making. Yeah.
So are you improvising? Because the situation, you know the situation, what it's like, right?
Yeah.
And
Are you improvising on fitting into that?
basically,
yes.
I think this is the perfect time. Ain't nobody else is gonna have the perfect time like we did, or rather what we're gonna have. Because where there's a problem, that's where the money's at.
True.
So if you're gonna be that type of person that's gonna be able to recognize or create a culture or improvise a certain culture that people can be able to follow, then I think that will be the first step into grooming innovators, not just followers, but innovators, because there are a lot of ideas that are mainly shut down. Why? Because of funding and then stereotyping. There's a lot of unnecessary criticism. That's not constructive criticism.
In cultural background, like Zimbabweans don't do this.
You know?
Yes,
Like,
yes.
So as Fashion Gang, we were like, no, let's put a stop to that. Be it the music side, let's put a face to it. Let's put an image to it. That's where everything else emanated from. We want to look better because image, once you look good, you do good. And you can be able to engage whoever at some certain level because image is everything.
And the funny thing, you know, like with the way the economy is, you know, the funny thing, it will be, you know, an eye-opener for, you know, maybe if it's the leaders of the country, to let them know that, you know, in Zimbabwe, you know, you have people crying out like there's no money, there's no enough funding for this, you know, we're having hard times, you know, the economy is bad. But from our side, we look at it as, we know everything is not good, but we're doing everything in our, you know, in our strength to make it look like it's okay. We actually pulling every kind of stuff that we have to make sure that we get our order out to the people, find resources to make the stuff, you know, mobilize resources for ourselves so that we can have, you see, everything that's in here came from our own hands. Some of the things we were, you know, gifted, but then, you know, after people saw that these people are working hard to get to this place. So basically we are just going at it, and we would want them to see we're not coming to them and crying for funding. We have never done, or we have never gone to a bank to ask for you know, funding, or to any government institution for that. From our family sides, they don't even really fork out. Yes, they do, they support us in some other ways, but you know, other things, you know, Zimbabweans, you just have to do the stuff yourself. So basically they should know that we're not crying. We're not crying foul of anything. We're actually going ahead. Join us and, you know, start looking at those youths that are actually pushing things forward and actually give them more support. Because right now he's got a family to attend to, I've got a family to attend to. But this business is giving us money so that we can give to our families. So they should look at that and help us and support us. People like that, because we haven't been there yet. Other people, they're getting money, but they're using it for other things. I've heard the government complain that some people are not giving back the loans they were given. They won't give them back because their initiatives are not, you know, well meant, you know.
Alright, so how long has been your journey?
Moving on to your music side now.
Thank you.
So I got that you introduced him to music.
Yes.
When did this happen?
The thing is, okay, we forgot a part here. This guy was my junior at high school. We used to play rugby together. He was like a scrum half and I was a scrum half. I was like in the first team, I was the head scrum half, so he was the junior scrum half. So his first practice session, I had to teach him how to play scrum half, you know. So little did we realize the coach that got us together was preparing us for something bigger in life. We only later realized when we grouped up after high school again, when now I had a studio called Knockout. I'm still part of it. That's like, Fashion Gang is a studio, but it's like we're like a conglomerate of too many studios. We've got so many.
You just do so many things.
Yeah, we have so many other guys that we are going to be coming through even to you, and you'll be like, oh, also these guys and those ones as well. Yeah. So when we got together, I tuned them that I wanted an image to put to my music, and he also got involved with the fact like he used to hear me like freestyle every day when I play a beat, and he's always cutting there. And I'm like, I want to do that, and he says like, you also want to rap like you do. And so I was like, there's nothing fun about it. So, this is just dope, and I'm like, that's dope. Making clothes is dope. Then he says like, let's do a talent exchange. Then it all started from there.
Okay.
Like I used to get like joggers for my videos from him, and he used to also get tracks from me to listen. So we ended up he ended up experimenting with the rap part every day. I ended up experimenting and living with the fabric every day, to a point where we got to actually do what he does best, and he does what I do best.
The fashion side of things, it all started like, actually we can trace back to high school, right? Because I was, personally, I was that type of person that was like, no, I want to look better than everybody else. Mm-hmm. 1, for money, 2, for girl. And I would make sure that, be it Civis Day, I want to get something that's different like from everybody else. Mm-hmm. So it started from there, just wanting to get something that's real, to a point where you're like, okay, fine, let me go to the tailors and get my own idea, the perfect image that I want to be pulled up. So that's when I actually started going to the tailors and spend a good 3 months. And I would come up with ideas, sketch them down, go to the tailors and just watch them and just check out what they were doing. So from after 3 months, I had confidence enough to actually try to make something by my own hand. That's when we got like that other machine. Okay. And then that was my grandmother's machine actually. I went to my grandmother, like, no, Granny, can we have the machine? She was like, boy, you're crazy. There's no son in this family that has ever done that. But since you like it and I'm not using it, then why don't you go ahead? So we did that. And then actually, we had a bet with my grandmother. She was like, no, I want to see the first time you would get a customer. Right? And to me, up to now, it has always been that. And we're actually at a level where it's no longer now from like, did you get customers? It's like, no, how much do you have right now? Yes. That's the type of conversation it elevated from. And always, God has been sending people, just people who have been blessed each and every time. This guy right here, when we linked up, I didn't even know anything about even like music. All I just knew was just fashion.
Oh, so he introduced you to music.
To music, yes.
And we introduced him
to fashion. So it was literally talent exchange, and this now it took a period of like 2 years. Now of us just being together, we eat from the same plate. Okay. And just from that culture alone, we realized that the bond has become so much bigger that I'm even closer to him than I am to my brother.
This is the same for me as well. We literally have our own family unit as two, then the other families are relatives, our relatives.
Yeah. Alright, so since the time you guys joined, yes, right? What have been what are you what successes have you?
Okay. So far, we've managed to showcase at Zim Youth Festival. We've done Haifa. We've also showcased at Latin Fridays. We've done our personal showcases from Hatfield to Queensdale. We've also done shows with like corporate people like Spa, where we're actually just recording and where we're actually doing our songs, and then just the fashion showcases and stuff. So it's been a lot. It's been a lot. Right now, we're at a level where even people internationally, we have orders that are coming in from like even Houston, Texas, all over the world. And people are loving the way that we're doing it, because now what we do is like every time we finish up a garment, we just document it. He's also a photographer and also a video guru.
All right.
So every time we trying to document each and everything, each and every detail, and I think it'll be best well experienced after you see the documentary that we're gonna be doing after we're done with everything else. You guys gotta keep it locked, because we want you to follow the journey, starting out from way back to like present times, and then we take you guys to the future.
Okay. Any artists you've praised?
Yes.
Wow, the list is endless.
Kill them.
Okay, I can say from artists who have dressed, starting with the fashion gang, we dress ourselves, and obviously if you're talking about big people, if you know, it's kind of hard to say which ones, but I'll give you the big ones. You talk about the likes of Amara Brown, Soldier Love, you talk about the likes of Embrace Mpada, 10 Diamond, we have all had them here. And the Murizo, we also been working with him, he's still yet to come. Titan of the Mkoko fame, if you remember the guy with the Mara, we've done a lot of outfits for him.
The Chimbetus.
The Chimbetus. Power Rasta, if you know him. Zimdats was endless, tips, Mabanditi. We've worked with almost everyone. I'm running out of names in my head, like I don't remember. Okay.
Yeah, it seems like you're on the right path.
It's like most of this, since I was in the music industry before, and he was an outgoing person as well. Okay. We always used to rock up at events, and you know, since I'm a videographer, you know, I would end up giving them links to the fashion, and he would tell them to come over as well. So some of them just know us by, you know, talking to our mothers, like, I want this done, and I'm like, I'll go see Spanner and Fashion Gang. They'll sort out everything. So a lot of people, even, you know, prominent, you know, people, you know, politicians, we dress as well, we do different things. Like, you know, even for other organizations that are not, you know, very popular with you people, but you see them, you win and stuff like that. We do different kind of things, you know, for these people. So
alright, so you guys.
Yeah.
Right. What would you, if you had the power, what would you change in the fashion design section of Zimbabwe?
First, I think the greatest thing is mentality. We want to change the mentality of people.
Numero uno.
That's it.
Objective.
Because that's where the main battle is at. Once we change our mentality and we say, let's bring all those crazy ideas together. Because we are people that are talented, people that are very, very creative, but they're not united. So once we're able to put all those ideas into one, I can tell you we'll become the Voltron. And that is building up something that will leave a legacy, not just only for us, but for the grand kids. Because what we're doing right now is making history, and we do not want our history to be marred with failure. We're not the type of people. So I would say let's change mentality. Once we change mentality, everything else.
And also want to, you know, government to actually put, you know, legislature, you know, for the textile industry to actually come back. You know, I'm quite disappointed to note that, you know, when I was growing up, I had like names like David Whitehead, you know, going around. You know, they used to produce a lot of fabrics. I used to see a lot of companies that you'd see the fabric made in Zimbabwe. We had a very booming, big cotton industry that we should have been, you know, utilizing that, you know, keeping the cotton in the country, you know, processing it and turning it into fabric so that we can get cheaper fabrics from shops, right? Because I can't compete with the Chinese person who's bringing in 5,000 of these that he stole a pattern from me. Then he makes 5,000 of that and he sells them at $5 each. For me, my total cost of labor plus the resources that I use, my bill can get to 20, but he's getting that at $5. And they have so many shops in town. You know, it's unsustainable. Yeah, to people, yeah, it might be, you know, in trying times it might be okay, but, you know, we need to be the ones who are producing that at a cheaper quality so that we can give affordable clothing to people, to the normal, ordinary Zimbabwean.
And we want to push our product internationally. So I think it would be so much easier if we have all those resources being produced right from here, because we're even working on a new concept of shoes. So guys, you gotta keep that in mind, because that shoe line, basically, if we had everything else that we needed in here, the cost would be so much cheaper, and the benefits of it from our
Increase in
exporting stuff,
GDP.
that would be awesome. And then we got more jobs for people. And
Not forgetting that,
And
which is
besides
our
that-
main objectives as well.
I hear you saying you're targeting to go international, right?
Yes, sir.
Do you have a time frame that you can see?
Yeah, actually starting off from today, because we're about to make that move for real. And every day here, every step that we take is to make sure that we become an international brand. So keep your eyes at Fashion Gang, because we are about to show you guys the future.
So this was the interview with the Fashion Gang at their studios here at Shaftesbury Avenues. And today they're giving us an exclusive of their video, which will be dropping on our Facebook page later today. So please do follow us on 26 Richard, our Facebook page, to watch their video, Designer Fantasies. And this was it from the 26 Richard show with me, Faith Jorufura, and Lemia.
For these and other stories, visit our website www.26richard.com. Follow us on Twitter @26richard and like our Facebook page 26richard.